Hey there, Heather here. I don't know why I tell you that. It's like I have to explain that I'm Heather. Just coming down off of a 4-day dance workshop with Bettina Roth, the 5 rhythms, and feeling kind of mellow and slightly sweaty and just happy. Just ate a whole bunch of salad from my garden. I've been thinking about something that's been on my mind for quite a long time, for a couple of months, especially owning a clothing store, is that, you know what, ladies, you just have to accept sometimes fat just happens. And tell you a little bit about my growing up. I was one of those young ladies who would diet and eat like lettuce and potato skins for 2 weeks, and I'm not talking deep fried potato skins, we're talking like literal potato skins. And my mom would always yo-yo diet, and my sister and I would make chocolate cake first, and then we would diet like crazy. Boyfriends who I was never good enough for. I think I probably picked the wrong kind, and just continued on through my life having a long-term love-hate relationship with my body, depending on how heavy or thin I was. And I had a friend one day who said, do you know that every single event in your life you say, oh, and I was 127 pounds when that happened, or I was 145, or ooh, I was a size 6, or I was a size 18. So I thought it was really interesting that my whole life I have had this relationship with my body that is so aware of my size and how worthy I may feel or not feel, depending. And over the last, I think it was when I turned 40, I'm 55 now, I decided no more diets. Start to learn to love your body. I had continued on a tradition of unhappiness with myself that I carried from my mother and passed on to my daughter, and do not want to pass on to my grandchildren. And it was my beautiful daughter who said, this will stop here. And so through her, I began to learn that what I saw in the mirror was not always what was true. And that, you know, we will say to ourselves, I will say to myself, oh my God, I looked so good when I was 20. You know, when I'm 30, I'm like, oh my God, I should have really loved myself when I was 20. And then when I'm 40, I'm like, oh my God, I should have totally loved myself when I was 30. I looked so damn hot. And then at 50, it's like, I'm starting to get it. Why am I not loving myself at 50? Because, you know, when I'm 75 and 80, I'm going to be going, gosh, you know, you could use those 2 legs to walk around, and you weren't crippled, or your hip didn't hurt. And then suddenly things start to change, and you begin to realize, hey, I'm 55. Bodies change. This body's just a vehicle. Right now, I don't wear a lot of makeup because I don't think I should have to. And anyway, if I get emotional and cry, my mascara runs and all that. I really want to know how to be just comfortable with Heather, with this face that's Heather, with this body that's Heather, that sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like, okay, breathe, breathe, Heather. You know, what's that? Oh, fuck, what's that roll on the back? It's like you need a back bra or something. And as I get older, there's other things, little aches and little pains, and I'm reminded that we are all going to die, that this is going to be buried underground one day, and we're all going to look like a zombie movie if they dig us up. No, this is not that important. My friend told me once when I was having a nervous breakdown about the cellulite on my thighs when I was in Mexico and I wanted to wear shorts, and she said, Heather, joy ages well. You can find an incredibly beautiful, incredibly slender woman who is not joyful. And you can find, and there's no beauty there, and you can find an incredibly slender and incredibly beautiful woman who is joyful, and the beauty's there. And you can take it for bigger, maybe less beautiful, whatever it is, but it's the joy. It's the joy that ages well. So if I can encourage you, let's not waste too much time on this, because you know what? Fat happens. Fat fucking happens. It's okay.